Visión comunal, en contacto con las comunidades.
Venezuela in the news. News from the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela.
Headlines. Venezuelan government boosts common oil policy between Russia and the OPEC. Government approved 5 billion bolivars for housing construction. Venezuela and China will review mining and oil projects. Venezuelan Minister of Petroleum, Del Pino, confirmed yesterday the decision to hold a meeting with the government of Russia to expand the scope of the agreement signed by the Organization of Oil Exporting Countries in Algeria. Del Pino informed that President Nicolás Maduro was leading the preparations to the highest level with Moscow. The OPEC is also managing the route to incorporate Oman, Kyrgyzstan, and Azerbaijan into the plans to recover the crude oil prices. The OPEC puts in the market 33 million barrels per day out of 94 million barrels per day that are needed to cover the demand. Following the agreements in Algeria, the organization will meet next November 30th to determine the quotas for each one of its members. Yesterday, the president of state oil company PDVSA and Minister of Petroleum Del Pino announced that the price of the Venezuelan oil must recover between $10 and $15 after the agreement signed in Algeria. In the next months, the Venezuelan oil basket must stand at $50 to $55 per barrel. Del Pino described as historical the agreement reached in Algeria and explained that the recovery of the oil prices will balance the market. The Venezuelan experts stated that the OPEC countries defeated the speculators. Venezuela currently produces more than 3.2 million barrels per day. Minister of Housing Manuel Quevedo informed that the Venezuelan government approved more than 5 billion bolivars for housing construction in the country. The resources will be destined for Constru Patria, Corpo Miranda, Banco Nacional de la Vivienda, and other state institutions. Since 2011, the government has granted 1,150,000 homes to the most vulnerable families of the country. Since the activation of that policy, the government has destined more than $73 million. Caracas has received the cooperation of Russia, China, Iran, Belarus, among other national allies.
Venezuela in the news.
Venezuela requested the Secretary General of the United Nations, Ban Ki-moon, to reactivate the applicable good offices process to recover the Essequibo, territory currently in control of Guyana. The Venezuelan Ministry of Foreign Affairs, through a communique issued yesterday, described as absurd and irrational the actions deployed by the government of Guyana to disregard their international commitments and disrupt the good office's mechanism in force. Venezuela tries to recover more than 160,000 square kilometers that it lost after an arbitral fraud carried out in Paris on October 3, 1899. Guyana has assumed an arbitrary, illegal, and unilateral attitude, disregarding what is established in the Geneva Agreement of 1966. Minister of Petroleum and President of PDVSA, Del Pino, stated that the China-Venezuela Joint Commission will meet at the end of this year in the Venezuelan capital to review the country's mining and oil projects. Venezuela and the government of China maintain active more than 672 projects in different areas that will be revised in this meeting. Since last year, both nations work on a portfolio of projects that required the financing of $5 billion approved by China. 1 week ago, Caracas determined with Beijing a series of mechanisms for the company Sinovensa of Mixed Capital to expand its production to 330,000 barrels per day. In 2001, China and Venezuela created the High-Level Joint Commission, which will hold a meeting at the end of this year.
News from the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela.
Headlines. Venezuelan government boosts common oil policy between Russia and the OPEC. Government approved 5 billion bolivars for housing construction. Venezuela and China will review mining and oil projects.
Venezuela in the news. News from the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela.
Visión comunal, en contacto con las comunidades.